Tanya from the Saved by King Jesus channel. Welcome back. You all have to watch this clip from the show in 1981. It's called The Barney Miller Show, but we'll talk about it after.
The ones you should be arresting, not me. Why don't you say that before? What we got here? Cam, this is William Klein. He was wrecking our office. I just wanted to meet them face to face. I wanted them to admit what they were doing. Who is they? He was in the office of the Trilateral Commission. Trilateral Commission? Yeah, the Trilateral Commission. All right, what is the Trilateral Commission? It's an organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to bring together business and political leaders from the United States, Europe, Japan, so they could work together for better economic and political cooperation between their nations. And that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in positions of power in this country, to work to erase national boundaries, create an international community, and in time bring about a one-world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots. I take it they're pressing charges? Yeah, well, he broke a globe and some UNICEF artwork. Well, they're in on it too. Okay, Mr. Klein, if you're just telling you, our whole way of life as we know it is in jeopardy. I appreciate that information. But I have the documented evidence. It's all in there. Show him. Well, he's got these magazines here. Conspiracy Review. Suppressed Truth Roundup. The master plan is exposed. Yeah, well, you're still not convinced, huh? Would you like to hear the names of just a few of the people who have been on the Trilateral Commission? Not particularly. James Earl Carter. Heard of him? Look, Mr. Klein. Henry Kissinger. You heard of him? Walter Mondale. Who? Mr. Klein, this is John Anderson, George Bush. Now, you remember at the convention, everybody thought it was going to be Ford for Veep. You know what happened? David Rockefeller just picked up a phone, put in a call. Hey, Ronnie, forget Jerry, it's George. Bye. No matter who won in November, they had their man in the White House.
Conspiracy theories from the 1700s to the 1950s were a way of understanding the world. But during the Kennedy assassination and people pointing their fingers saying Oswald worked for the CIA weaponized that term or phrase which had already long before that been coined. So upon weaponizing it, they made conspiracy theorists look like insane people when it was a way of finding out the truth long before that.
Thought of going back in over 45 years, and the fact that NASA has repeatedly admitted that we can't go past low Earth orbit.
This next generation spacecraft will enable America to explore beyond low Earth orbit.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Isn't the slightest bit worth worrying about. And by
the plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to.
It says, the Earth is protected from fast-moving killer electrons by an invisible plasma shield, which is located thousands of miles above the planet's surface, according to researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and the University of Colorado, Boulder. High above the Earth's atmosphere, harmful electrons that make up the outer band of the Van Allen radiation belt travel at nearly the speed of light, pelting everything in their path. Exposure to such high energy radiation can harm satellite electronics and pose serious health risks to astronauts. However, despite their intense energy, these electrons circling around the planet's equator cannot come below 7,200 miles from the Earth's surface due to the shield, scientists said in a study published in the journal Nature on Thursday. It's almost like these electrons are running into a glass wall in space, Daniel Baker of the University of Colorado Boulder and the study's lead author said in a statement. Somewhat like the shields created by force fields in Star Trek that were used to repel alien weapons, we are seeing an invisible shield blocking these electrons. It's an extremely puzzling phenomenon. The invisible shield, dubbed the plasmaspheric hiss, is made up of very low frequency electromagnetic waves in the Earth's upper atmosphere. Scientific data and calculations have helped researchers deduce that the hiss deflects incoming electrons, causing them to smash into neutral gas atoms in the Earth's upper atmosphere and ultimately disappear. It's a very unusual, extraordinary, and pronounced phenomenon, John Foster, Associate Director of MIT's Haystack Observatory, said in a statement. What this tells us is if you parked a satellite or an orbiting space station with humans just inside this impenetrable barrier, you would expect them to have much longer lifetimes. That's a good thing to know. The latest study is based on data collected by NASA's Van Allen probes that are orbiting within the harsh environments of the Van Allen radiation belt. Oh, you mean the one that they just flew through, no problem, back in the 60s? In the 70s? During the study, the researchers observed an, quote, exceedingly sharp barrier, end quote, against harmful electrons, which was steady enough to withstand a solar wind shock in October 2013. To determine what could create and maintain such a barrier, the researchers considered a few possibilities, including effects from the Earth's magnetic field and radio signals from human transmitters on Earth. Oh yeah, it's our Walkman that's causing this. Whatever. And there's another article I should post where they're saying they basically want to poke a hole or blow up or eliminate even the Van Allen belts. Okay, check this out. February 27, 2014, okay, last year. Physicists plan to wipe out Earth's Van Allen belts with radio waves. You got a depiction here of the Van Allen belts, what they look like here. It was just last year that physicists thought they had found the origin of Earth's Van Allen radiation belts. And now, a prominent group of them wants those belts dead. It's understandable, given the frustration these areas of space can cause to modern astrophysicists. If you want to launch a satellite or a telescope, let alone a human being, the Van Allen belts will be a painful thorn in your side. So, says a growing group of astrophysicists, why not wipe them out altogether? It might seem odd to hear scientists propose destroying a feature of the natural world, but there is a decent scientific argument to be made that these belts provide us nothing useful and that we could lose them without a single negative effect. These guys, they think they came from monkeys, okay? This is the way the Earth is... Okay, all flat Earth globe arguments aside, okay, it's understandable, at least as far as we've been told, that there is a belt of radiation over us.
Makes me wonder about the 3 rockets they sent up during the Black Sun event on April 8th. Anyways, how's that for a conspiracy theory for you? Our King Jesus didn't bring us this far to abandon us now. You were called, you were chosen. You were knit together in your mother's wombs, fearfully and wonderfully made. We are called to serve. King Jesus bless you all.